Hi, everyone. I'm here with my good friend, Sai Awan. She does massage therapy and she is also an actress and has been featured in a couple different series. And she will be in Sweet Girl coming up on Netflix this August. I'm so excited to be talking with my friend today. How are you, Sai?
I'm doing very well, and I'm very honored, and I am also very excited to be being interviewed by you.
Recently, you and Nate interviewed me on
Yes,
your Pittsburghs Hot List. You started a
yes,
Pittsburgh Hot List where you feature various people in entertainment and artists in Pittsburgh. We both are in Pittsburgh. We love it here. We're passionate about this place and the art scene. So
right.
you're obviously involved in this whole thing. How long have you been acting here?
I have been acting now since 2000, I would say 2017, and I have done commercials. I've been in series and movies such as Mindhunter. That was my first actual movie I was in, the second season. I've been in Manhunt. And as you mentioned, Sweet Girl is coming this August on Netflix as well. So, very excited about that. And also have done some print ads. And as you mentioned, I'm a massage therapist. That's what I do. And because of the pandemic, that's been on hold, but I'm fully vaccinated and starting that back up again. And for Pittsburgh's Hot List, that is an online magazine where it's Nate and his brother Daniel are the creative consultants, and then I am the editor in chief. And we also have a podcast where it's the three of us, and as you mentioned, it's all talented the talent in Pittsburgh, whether it's modeling, acting, artists, authors, professors, um, if it's not that, entrepreneurs, people who are doing things and who are not recognized for what they are doing. So we feature them and we have podcasts with them to get to know them more so that the city of Pittsburgh and the listeners can get to know them as well. And they also know that, how they can also grow. And that's how that started. So that's what we've been up to, been very busy with that and very excited. It's just growing. And we're just really excited to see how well it's doing. And then now we're having another thing going on where we're going to have motivation every Sunday, which is starting this Sunday, the May 23rd. It's called Heat Check and also Testify, where Testify is about motivation, inspiration, and uplifting each other. Whoever has a testimony where they can uplift and inspire people. And that's what's starting on Sunday, May 23rd at 7 o'clock in the morning. You can hear it on Spotify. We're available on Spotify. The podcasts are on Spotify, iHeartRadio, and otherwise you can find it on Facebook, Instagram. Pittsburgh's Hot List is on all the major media, social media.
That's amazing. That sounds so
Yeah.
exciting.
Yes, it is.
So, can you tell us a little bit about your character on Sweet Girl?
I actually play one of the villains' wives. So his name is Shah, and I'm his wife, and we have two children. And it just so happened that my oldest son and my youngest daughter were also featured. So we are the family, and I'm his wife. And the main actor in that movie is Jason Momoa. His wife has been killed, and he and his daughter are after the people who have killed her. So that's what that's about. I don't want to give too much away So that's all we know so far. Just tune in. So it's going to be an action-packed movie. I can tell.
I can understand. I can
Right.
understand, yeah.
He
What's it like? What was it like working with Jason Momoa?
is such a down-to-earth person. Anyone who I used to hear that, but when you actually see that, he's like a big boy. He's a boy at heart. He he's very down to earth and doesn't have an ego. I met him in one of the scenes and actually got to talk to him um, in between scenes, which is the gala scene. He was talking to my husband, actor husband, and he looked over at me and he goes, "Oh, I am so sorry. Hello, how are you? I just wanted to say you look very beautiful." So I said, "Thank you very much." And then, and also on the same day, he was playing his guitar and singing just in the middle. And another scene, which was when I was at a home, in a house where I am escaping with my husband and children. He had come in and he has a big motorcycle. He is, even though he's a boy, he has entered the room. You hear him before you see him.
Mhm.
I walk and just his energy, it is so positive. He has such positive energy. He's always laughing, joking, and just wanting to get into it. That's why I say he's a big boy. He loves kids and, he just wants to get to know everybody. So it was a very good experience. It was very, I wasn't nervous at all. I felt very much at home.
And so you are also a massage therapist.
Yes.
What kinds of
Yeah.
massage do you do?
I do reflexology, deep tissue, and also some Swedish massage. And I also do chair massages. I massage from all age groups. That means I also massage children. And with children, they don't require an hour or 2 hour massage. They require a 20-minute. So that's what the chair is for. Whenever there's a chair massage, it's up to 20 to 30 minutes. And when with a child, I have to have a guardian or a parent present. I will not massage a child who does not have a guardian or parent with them.
Sure.
And I also, and of course, table massage, and that is from an hour to 2 hours. So it depends. And it depends on where the problem areas are. Some people have problems. I will not massage areas where they don't want to be massaged. I ask, are there any problem areas? Are there any specific areas you do not want me to massage? And I'm always checking in with the client as well, whether they want it deeper or lessen the pressure. So,
So
or
what
if
is
they
chair
fine.
massage? Sorry, what is chair massage exactly? Like is
It's not your standard chair. So it's not a chair that you see at a dining table or where we are both sitting at a chair right now. A chair massage is there's a face cover, which is basically the same face cover that you see on a table where you're laying, your head is down and you're kind of kneeling. So your knees are bent, but they're on padding. So it's also padded and you're facing down. So your basic, and then there's for your arms to hang over. There's so that your arms are also relaxed so I can get to work on your arms and your hands. Now, when it comes to reflexology, I do not do reflexology on the chair. If I do, it's only on the hands because that's what's exposed. Because when they're on the chair, they usually have their shoes on. And a chair massage is meant for not for relaxation. There is some relaxation, but it's mainly to also maintain energy, which is why you'll see a chair massage being given at a workplace, because you don't want to be so relaxed where you're falling asleep at work and they do it during lunch break. You want to have the energy to also continue working. So that's why a chair massage, people have you're fully clothed, and I'm able to work your head. I'm able to work your shoulders, your back, like I said, your arms and your hands. So, and then, like I said, 20 to 30 minutes is the maximum, and that's it. So you can go on about your day, but you also feel that energy, you're rejuvenated. So you feel, yes, I'm refreshed, but at the same time, you're de-stressed. So it has a double sword, so to speak.
Do this from home?
I am doing it from home, but I am also mobile. I know a lot of people are not fully vaccinated, but I am fully vaccinated. And that's why I'm starting it back up. When I was not vaccinated, or when the vaccine was not available, I still had clientele, because they knew I was practicing safety measures with my mask and washing my hands and everything. I wash my hands anyway during massage therapy, before I work on the client and after, in between, clean and make sure I put a clean set of sheets on for if there's another person coming in. So, but now that I'm fully vaccinated, I'm still going to practice wearing my face mask, because you never know.
Right. You had mentioned that communicating with the client is an important aspect of massage.
Yes, because you don't want a person to come out feeling the next day as if they've got bruises all over their body. There have been incidents where I have heard stories. Oh my goodness, people are. I've had skeptical people, and I let them know, reassure them. I said, it will be at your time whenever you feel ready, but this is what I do. And I explain to them what I do, and that I check in. And afterwards, after I give them the massage, I'll say something to the extent of, would you like me to increase the pressure? Would you like me to decrease the pressure? Or would you like me to stay where I am? Mm-hmm. Just so they know, because it's very important, because you don't want to have negative publicity with somebody else, if they're going home or talking to friends. Oh, I had the worst massage ever. I felt like I was being beaten up. I've had that happen. There was a person when I was going to school for massage therapy. She was learning, and she had said that she had her first massage, and when we had to practice on each other, she had told me, I had the worst massage. I still am a little traumatized. So, but she felt the energy from me. I said, I am not going to do what you don't want me to do. Mm-hmm. I'm leaving it up to you. And I will be as gentle as you want me to be. And then I'll leave it to you, just like the instructor said. You just tell me when to stop, and I'll stop. And I let the client know. I do the same thing with the client. If you want me to stop, just say stop. I completely understand. Some people have an emotional reaction, mm-hmm. because, and it's not because of anything bad that I have done. It's an area that hasn't been touched before. So I will say, would you like me to stop? Mm-hmm. Because, if it's something upsetting, they will say, I've heard clients say to me, no, I want you to continue. I have never felt this area worked on before, but it feels so good that it just brings out emotions. I've had an emotional experience as well. So it's very interesting. At first, when you see it first, you kind of get, taken aback, because you think you've done something wrong. It's just a natural reaction. But I let them have their time. And, just if they need to talk it out, or if they want some time, I'll stop for the length of time, or if they just want to stop and that's it. It's nothing bad. It's just that it's brought up something, some issues, and maybe it's an area where their inner child or their energy was negative and it's manifested in a certain area. Like for me, it was my abdomen. So I had my abdomen worked on, and it just brought up, I just had an emotional breakdown. So, you know, after that, afterwards, it was fine. When I got massaged there, first I would say, no, I don't want to be massaged there anymore. Please don't work there, because, you know, it's a sensitive area. Some people don't want to be, other people, it's like a release and they feel better and they will continue with it. So
Well,
it was both.
if you believe in the mind body connection, then
Oh, yes,
there
very
must
much
be
so.
thoughts and emotions in your muscles and tissues. So when
Absolutely.
they're coming out, there's going to be a reaction.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, that's what massage is about. It's all about, you know, we mentioned the chakras, and because of the fact that, you know, there's different kinds of massage. There's Ayurvedic massage. There is also Reiki, which involves energy. And there's also Thai massage.
Mhm.
And so, you know, there's such a variety, and it started in the East, you know, so, and because it started in the East, they believe in how the mind, the body, and soul are connected. There is a connection, and
You
it's
mean
all due to energy
you mean the
as well.
Thai massage started in the East, or massage in general?
Massage in general
Really?
started in the Far East, in China, and also in India. And that's where you get the Ayurvedic massage. So it started there in about 500 BC.
I
So
didn't
it's a
know
very
that.
ancient practice, yes. And I am a firm believer. I mean, I believe I'm a believer of God, and I believe in energy. Um, I also believe that massage is truly, it does connect, because your mind, body, and soul. It does, because the way you feel, you not only are you feeling like, oh, my body feels so good, but your mind, you feel like your mind has just been, you know, you've been de-stressed. You feel happier, your mood changes, and you feel happy from the inside as well. Your soul, you can feel it, your spirit, you know, and you just feel more positive. So it works all three. It's all three put together. It just shows you how it's connected with the universe, I would say, you know.
I get acupuncture done every month.
That's
And
also.
yeah, I've been doing it for over 12 years.
Hmm.
And there's an energy flow that happens.
Absolutely.
I physically just maintain my health that way. If I don't go, I don't feel good. But
Yes.
I remember a couple treatments that I had where we were working on a particular issue and we were using a lot of needles, and
Hmm.
I literally started feeling fear. I was feeling really intense feelings, and I told my acupuncturist, you know, and I have such good relationships, you know, with him, uh,
Yes.
with a couple of them, and I can tell them, you know, like this is uncomfortable or this isn't. And usually, like I'm fine with whatever they do, but this time I was like, you know what? I don't think I can do any more needles. I was literally feeling like I'm having a panic attack. And I knew
Yes.
there was something that we were really deeply working with, and I'm still working with it, you know?
Yeah, you know, and that's like massage. You can have that. You can feel, like I said, it triggers something. I'm just saying, like, you know, emotional. That was an emotional reaction you had, which is fear, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, like I said, you know, people will tell me and talk to me, my clients will tell me, or a new client will say, what was that? And I said, you know, this is a normal, just letting them know there's nothing wrong with you. It's a normal reaction. And you can either have it continued, or if you don't want that area to be worked on, we will not work on it. Just so I want you to be as comfortable as possible. But if there's something that you want to share, and why you're feeling like this, we can talk about it. If you're comfortable enough to talk about, or if there's someone you can talk to. But I will not, I will respect their decisions, whatever decision they make. And it's good that you communicated with your acupuncturist.
Yeah.
There's chiropractors, there are chiropractors, there are acupuncturists, acupuncturists, and acupressure.
Yeah.
Is also one of them. My uncle used to be a psychiatrist, and he used to do acupuncture. For me, I'm more comfortable with massage therapy. That is something that since childhood, I've heard that I'm very good with my hands, and people would feel relief. My brother used to get very severe headaches, so I would massage his head, not just his forehead. I would massage certain, and I didn't know I was working pressure points that would help him. And so, I would do that. And then I have an aunt who used to suffer from migraines. And I asked her, do you mind if I massaged you? And maybe that would help. She said, okay, you can try. And sure enough, it helped. So, I never really thought anything about it. I would massage my friends. When I was studying psychology in college, we had a chain where we were all massaging each other. And whenever anyone got me, they were like, oh my gosh, you just got a great spot. This feels so good. And anyone when we would rotate, anyone I would get, they would say the same thing. But even then, I wouldn't think anything of it. It wasn't until I came to Pittsburgh, and I want to say I think it was also 2017 or 2016. And I got a little nudge from Nate, and he said, I think you have something here. And I'm like, I have finally found my purpose. I found because we're always looking to see, why are we here in this world? What does God have planned for me to do? Questioning, what is our purpose in this life? I think about that. I used to always think about that. Why am I here? I know I'm here for a reason. And I wanted to know what that reason was. And I found this, and I just love it. And all I can say, without being able to massage for so long, my hands are really craving it, and I have people in the house who can easily come to me. My children, anyone, can say, if I hear anyone say, oh, my legs are hurting, or my neck hurts, you want a massage? No, I'm fine. So first I would say, okay, look, I'm massaging people and charging them. You have a free massage therapist. Oh, by the way, it's not called masseuse. Masseuse is a very negative connotation. It's massage. It's because now massage therapy has been recognized by the American Medical Association, which is why it's massage therapy.
Okay.
Masseuse has the negative connotations with it. Oh, so even overcoming that is a thing, because I've had a few clients call and I can tell that, okay, they think this is something else. I don't run a business like that. Okay. And mine is completely professional, and I let them know I'm a professional. And if you're looking for something like that, this is not the place to come. Yeah. I'm not that person. You will have to find that somewhere else, not here. Right. So, so it's massage therapy, and that's why it's used because, like I said, recognized now by the Medical Association. Right. American Medical Association. So.
And you said that, you have a gift with your hands, and Is that why your practice is called Healing Hands by Sai?
Yes. I'm glad you brought that up. That is why my business name is Healing Hands by Sai, because I feel my hands there's healing in them. I'm also an empath. So by even touching someone, so much as like even holding their hand, I can feel energy. And a person can feel, if they're feeling upset or sad, will feel comforted if I just hold their hand and not say anything. There was an incident that happened with a very close friend of mine who died in a head-on collision, and she was headed to a wedding of a friend, another friend, and she just died instantly. And I went to the funeral. I was sitting with her and holding her hand. That's all I did was hold her hand. And my friend was 23 when she died. I was about, I'm a few years older than her. So I was about 26. And, I just sat next to her and just holding her hand. And all I could think of saying was, I am just so sorry for her loss. She was such a beautiful person. And I really feel what you're going through. And she said, I know you do. And that's why I'm glad you're sitting here with me and holding my hand, because I know you understand. I can feel it. And I feel very comforted.
This was your
So
mother.
this is my friend's mother. Yes, she was the one who said that. And that's why, I can also sense things. People may think I'm crazy now, but I can also sense things from, if I enter a house, I can feel negative or positive energy. Also from a person, if I may not even, from a complete stranger, I just sense the energy from a person. Stay away, kind of thing. Or I'll say hello, but that's about it, or move along, because I want to at least greet the person, but I'll just keep on moving, not make any eye contact, and just kind of go where I need to go. And so I do sense a lot, and I feel a lot, and it's not because I'm saying it, it's not for the sake of saying it. Like some people will say, oh, it's like I literally feel that person's pain, or I'll feel their joy. I'll feel their excitement. And the negative part of it, I will feel it. I definitely do, which is why I want to go into Reiki, because that's all energy work, and you're not touching the person. The energy all comes from your hands, but you don't physically touch the person. Mm-hmm. It's the energy that is being released from the person you're doing Reiki on, and you are giving them positive energy, and you can feel the negative energy coming out. Mm-hmm. So that's something that I want to do. I want to become a Reiki master. I think we as human beings are capable not just of one thing. I think we are all multifaceted. So massage is my number one, but because it slowed down, then acting came along, and that also, with the pandemic, stopped. It's come back up again, and then I decided, okay, let's do some modeling, and did modeling, and then I was like, we can do something in the house, and we just always brainstorming with things, and anything I can do to help people, whether it's with my hands or if I can say something, that's also part of the healing hands. I firmly believe in wanting to help people and help them heal as well. And I feel that massage is the gateway to that in my world. So
you're saying like you can feel the energy when you go into a room or with a person. That's also like intuition, isn't it?
Yes, yeah. It is. It is. I agree with that. It is intuition.
Intuition is like, it's beyond logic. It's like, I even feel like it's beyond feeling. It's just a certain knowing. that
Mhm.
you get. That's why I'd say always like trust your intuition, because it's like
Mhm.
inner voice or vibration that's telling you what or what not to do,
Be
or
aware.
what the situation
Yeah,
is or something.
exactly. And since I'm very, like I said, I'm a believer and very spiritual. I believe it's God talking, letting me know, be aware, look around, just be careful
Mhm.
before going, or something like that. So, and yes, it's intuition, and I also believe in synchronicity. Things happen where things line up together. I get a lot of those kind of, I get a lot of sync, synchron, I can never say it, but I get a lot of
Yeah.
synchronous um, incidents.
Yeah.
So, and I also feel that's also part of when you reach a level of spirituality, and whether it's prayer, because I pray a lot, um, talk to God a lot. And so when it comes to that, I feel when you reach a certain level, uh, that's when you start noticing things more too, you know?
Hmm.
And like I said, we all have energy, and energy comes from somewhere. And I believe that that's our inner spirit. That's our true spirit, because we are just a shell. This is just a shell. Our true selves are inside, you
Yeah.
know? So, and that's what has the connection. That's what's telling us, hey, watch out, or yeah, that's fine. You can go there, that kind of thing. So,
You mentioned that you wanted to talk about domestic violence.
yes, yes. I have been a victim of domestic violence when I was married. I knew my ex-husband for a total of 13 years. We were married 8 out of the 13, have 3 beautiful children, which I will not trade, for anything. But unfortunately, the marriage wasn't the best. There was a lot of verbal abuse towards me, a lot of emotional abuse. At the very end, it almost became physical, but he missed me by punching a hole in the wall. And that's when I realized I had to get out, because I'm a very stubborn person. Because I believe when you get married, you work at it, you work things out if things are bad. And when things were bad, I was like, no, I'll make this work. I'll make this work. We're married, and it's supposed to be forever, and it will get better. So that was the attitude I was going with. And I said, divorce in my culture, which is, being born in Pakistan. I didn't live in Pakistan. I grew up in England. And, but still, the culture was there because of my parents. And, it was, uh, you know, when you get married and you work it out. And that's what I was doing, trying to do. I would get these little nudges from God. And and I was also struggling with myself, because I was also being gaslighted without even knowing it. And I was being isolated on top of it. I was not allowed to meet my brother, who lived in California. I was living in California at the time. And my brother was also living there. I was not allowed to visit him. I was not allowed to visit his family, but I could visit friends, which didn't make sense to me afterwards. It's like, okay, I can visit friends, but you get upset if I'm going to meet my family or your family. It didn't add up. But anyway,
Your
so
ex-husband was getting upset by this.
yes,
And
he would be upset.
that sounds pretty typical of a domestic violence.
Yeah, but it was strange that you would feel upset. Like, I'm going to see my brother, or your sister or your parents, but you're okay with the fact that I'm seeing friends. Usually it's the opposite, you know? Oh, what friend is this?
Yeah.
Is it a man? No, he wouldn't even question it if I would say I'm going to see a friend. He'd be okay. But if I'm seeing my sister-in-law or my brother, it was like, no, you can't go. Okay. So, but I would go, I said, this is my brother. What are you talking about? So I would end up going. But, I was just trying to work at the marriage. And then the last straw was when that happened. I'm like, okay. Because I kept praying, do I stay or do I go? I mean, do I stay in this relationship? Please give me a sign. And the signs I was getting, I don't think I was choosing not to listen to them because of the fact that to me they seemed small. They were just little bits here and there, because sometimes there would be good days. So I'm like, okay, that means I should stay. Then something would happen. He would yell or scream or whatever for no reason at me. And then I'm like, okay, I should leave. And then, but I wouldn't. And then when that final straw came along and he hid the hole by putting the TV in front of it, and he flipped, the couch literally was very heavy, and he ruined the living room and everything. I ran into the children's room, locked the door. They were fast asleep and I was in their closet. And that's when I called the police, and he acted like everything was fine. And when he was talking to me, I don't know what you're talking about. What is this? I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
You're crazy. So I'm like, okay, no. And I had opened my own bank account. That's where I was saving money. And when I had enough, I said, I'm leaving you and I'm taking the children, and that's it. And he said, well, I'm going to live in the car. I said, well, that's your choice that you made. I'm gone. Mm-hmm. But I allowed him. I said, you can visit the children if you want. And, and even to the children, I never put him in a bad light, because I was like, he is their father after all. I'm not going to deprive them of that. So, but he would never call them. He would never visit them. And then when he finally did, he was acting as if I don't know, like I had stopped him. I said, I have never stopped you. You decided not to. So, that was on you, not on me. But at the same time, I wasn't realizing, because I was putting the children first. I was having anxiety issues, depression. I was slowly having a nervous breakdown without realizing it. And I didn't realize it until I came to Pittsburgh. There was a family friend who flew me over here. She only had one ticket, so I couldn't bring the children with me. They had to stay with him. But at that time, they were living with his parents. So I was like, okay, at least they're with their grandparents, and then it ended up being that he remarried somebody, and he was actually engaged to her while we were still married. And they moved to New Mexico first, because that's where she was from. And then they moved to Maryland. So that's where they are now. And the children, I was without them for 4 years, and I did everything I could possible to have them back with me. And just so happened that their abuse was much worse in what he was doing to them. And the state of Maryland handed them over to me. So he's not allowed to have any contact with them. Neither is his wife. They have deemed him and her as unfit parents, and no contact whatsoever. And even then, I have said to the children, because they're older now, if you ever want to talk to him, you can. Just let me know. But the thing is, I'm going to be in the room and you will be on speakerphone. And they're fine with that. Mm-hmm. But they haven't. I think I've had them now it's going to be 4 years, no, 3 years, 3 years at the end of this year. And they've only spoken to him twice. Mm-hmm. And my son, who's the eldest, he came to the conclusion when he was 12, I don't want to speak to him again. Mm-hmm. And I said, okay, that's fine.
How are they doing emotionally now?
First thing I did as soon as I got them, was look for a therapist
Yeah.
for each of them. And so they're going for therapy. I myself am as well, because I don't want to trigger anything towards them. If I say something, and I don't want them to be afraid to come to me. And I myself still need it because I've been traumatized and I'm still healing myself.
Sure.
And so we're all in therapy, and they're doing extremely well in school. Whereas in Maryland, my son especially was failing.
Mm-hmm.
And because he
Sure.
my ex-husband wouldn't help him,
Yeah.
tell him to figure it out himself, and things like that. Whereas they know that I'm here. If you need any help, I'm here to help you. They know they have the help. And before the pandemic, my son was having problems with certain subjects. So his guidance counselor told him which teachers to go to, but then so he was going, he was staying a little after school for tutoring, and then COVID hit and it changed everything. And he doesn't do very well with change.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought having him going to school virtually would help him. It didn't. He's the kind of person who needs he needs the contact, the human contact. So he's back in school once school's reopened, and he's doing better. His grades are coming up,
Mm-hmm.
and he's going back to how he was in that regard academically. My youngest one, she had the worst of it, but I'm surprised at how well she is doing as far as academically and emotionally. But now she's growing. She's 10. She will be 11 this year. And now I think as she's growing, her brain is starting to process a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes she'll have a bit of a attitude problem, or be a little snippy or a little bit rude or something, and just have to remind her. So I let her therapist know if something has happened out of the ordinary, because it's not just in the house, it's now going to friends. And she doesn't realize that she's older because her friends are younger than her. Like, she's friends with a 5-year-old girl and a 7-year-old girl who live in the neighborhood. And she herself is 10, and she doesn't understand that, you can't say certain things. Some things are inappropriate to say. And so now it's like I've got rid of certain apps like TikTok and Gotcha Life, and making sure that what she's monitoring, what she's watching on YouTube as well. So
how are you doing now?
I'm doing well. Just it's a readjustment, certain things have come out. I think having them with me, because I'm seeing them still when I was gone. And now to see them now, no, they're no longer. My son was how old was he? He was about 9. He was 9, and then I had a 7-year-old and a 4-year-old. So that so my brain is still seeing them at that age.
Mm-hmm.
Or whereas they're not that. They're 15, 13, and 10. So adjusting to that, and a little few things, like as I mentioned, are starting to resurface. If something is said, I'll think of my ex-husband saying it, so trying to adjust to that. No, this is not him. This is so-and-so speaking. So I just have to, bring it back and just try to remind myself it's not him.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes, I'll say something that I wasn't able to say then, and I'll take it out on my child, like yell at them or something. And I'm working on my temper or my hurt, whatever the hurt comes up. And, so just trying to get out of that mode. So,
Thank you so much for sharing your story.
oh, you're welcome. You're
That's
welcome.
very courageous of you. And
Yeah.
I'm sure people listening are going to really appreciate your sharing and take
Yeah.
heart in that they're not alone.
No, no one, and that's what I want to also emphasize, that you are not alone. And I would, if anyone were to approach me, I'm an open book, and I understand. I understand when someone is lonely or depressed. I've also I've attempted suicide. Um, I've threatened suicide. So I understand that and where that comes from. Um, I understand anxiety. I understand PTSD. So if there's anyone out there, whether it's a man or a woman, because men also go through it as well.
Mhm.
We always think women do, but there are men out there, but they're, because society tells them that they have to man up, or, they'll look at them in a certain way. Oh, you're such a sissy, or you're weak. They shouldn't be looked at that way. And I don't agree with that, but I understand what it's like, because I've been through it. Um, I may not have gone exactly through what a certain person has, but I have experienced my share. So I can at least let them know, well, this is what I went through. And if that in any way, shape, or form can help, I'm willing. It will just mean the world to me that I can at least there is someone, who I've touched, and let them know that
Mhm.
they are.
I so admire your strength.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're amazing. And,
Thank you.
you know, taking everything you've been through, becoming the healer, doing this healing hands work, and also self expression and acting, love it.
Yes. I mean, there was a point in one of the scenes, it was in Mindhunter. I don't think it, yes, I think it did air. It was a night scene going into the church, and it was because a child had been murdered, and couples were going into the church. And, the director was saying, you're in the background, we were being told, a child has just died, has been murdered, and just walk in such a way and behave. I actually started crying,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and it was real tears. And it was like, it just came out because I was thinking about my own children. Because at that time, I didn't have my children.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm the kind of person, I was like, wow, and then when the scene was over, back to normal. And I was like, whoa. So I'm like, okay, I can bring it on. I have that in me, where I can channel my emotion. So if any director or anyone is out there who is working on a project, I am willing to do the dramatic scenes, and, hone in on a certain emotion. It may not be that one. It could be another one from childhood or something, I can turn it on and turn it off. And I didn't think I could.
Right.
So
And
it
you've
just,
done a couple of other things, like you were in Manhunt
yes.
and
The second one.
Mhm.
Yes. I was an FBI agent in that one. Manhunt Lone Wolf is what it was called. That was also, I believe, Netflix. And also in I'm Your Woman, which is still on Amazon Prime. That was more of a scene where I'm in a club, and then there was a shooting and we're all running out of the club screaming. So in the 70s. So, we're all wearing all these outfits. I just saw my blur go by. So in that one, but Manhunt, I did see myself. It was regarding the true story of the 1996 Olympics in Atlanta, the bombing that took place there. So that's why I'm the FBI agent. So that's what that was about. Yeah.
What was
That
it
was,
like wearing the whole FBI agent?
well,
Like,
I didn't have the coat. I was more of the professional
okay.
as a suit, and I had a badge and a gun. So I felt like, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm the boss here. I felt like Charlie's Angels. I was like, yep, you know. But having that gun on my hip, you know, and having the badge, and I'm like, you know, I felt powerful.
Well,
It felt
was it,
good.
it wasn't a real gun, was it? Or was it
No,
unloaded?
no, it's a prop.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah, they would actually have a real gun on set, you know? I don't think so.
dumb question. I thought, okay, maybe it's real, but it's unloaded, you know?
I think a person like me would be like, okay, I think, you know, the real FBI would come along and take me away, you know? She's got that look.
Yeah, I think the whole thing would be shut down, you know, like, no, we can't.
Yes. We found this Middle Eastern woman here, you know? I'm like, no, you know, I'm not wearing hijab, you know? That's the disguise by not wearing the hijab.
Yeah.
But yeah, all jokes aside, no, it was a prop gun.
Once you get the both of us going, you know, it's hard
Yes,
to stop.
exactly. Exactly.
And you've
We
also been
take,
in a few UPMC commercials.
I've been in a couple of UPMC commercials. One was for a liver transplant. One was more of a business, UPMC business side of it. So I did a commercial, was not as big, so it was more concentrated. You know, it was like I was seen, like I was an executive, and it was like a board meeting. So that was fun. And then I was in a print ad for where I was a doctor, the head doctor, and I'm actually that's in Chicago. It's a big thing. It's a technology called Zebra technology, and where you're in touch with. It's almost like it almost looks like like a cell phone, but it isn't. It's like a walkie-talkie where but you're not talking to the person, but you're in touch with your staff, you know, and you know exactly where to go, which nurse is calling to go into which room, or ICU kind of situation. So my face is the cover for that one. I looked it up and I'm like, yes, this is awesome, you know? So that's over there in the Midwest.
Yeah, I'm just so happy that you're doing all this and that you're going to continue to do it. Like,
Yes, I have fun, and you know, it's like I said, it's about energy. Like even when you and I work together, it's like there was a connection, and the energy was just great, and it kind of spread on the whole set, and that's how energy is, especially when there's positivity. It's all about having fun, and that's the attitude I go into. You know, it's like, oh, I can be somebody else. So when I'm somebody else, I want to put my all into the character, you know, and become that character. And even if I started off as as a background person, even though I was a background person, I made it a point to get to know people, you know, and I'm not just a background person and I'm going to sit in a corner. No, I want to know people. I want to know what you do. I want to know the PAs. I want to know the crew. I want to know what everyone's role is, you know, not just the actors, but also the behind the scenes people, you know. And just recently, I would say it was in February, I finished another project called Archive 81.
mm-hmm.
And that's going to be on Netflix. That finished, I would say, around late April. So that probably won't come out until next year sometime. But that was so much fun because in that one, in the very first time I was in that role, I was supposed to be a stand-in, but the person I was standing in for had not been established. They didn't even have an actor for that, or an actress. So I'm this figure wearing this red coat, and I've got had these huge hiking boots. And imagine it's like October, November-ish, freezing. And I had to run up hills and twigs and trees and branches and everything. And because I'm running away, and the principal actor doesn't know, is this a ghost or is this an actual person? He's trying to figure that out because he looks and I disappear, like I'm hiding behind a tree or I'll run. So there was one scene where I had to run and everyone was shocked. And because I have been acting, I knew all the background, all the people working. I knew the crew, and they're like, "It is so good to see you, Sai." And it was like a reunion, and it was just like a bunch of friends getting together and having fun. And then, when I was running, at one point I was like doing all these kind of, I don't want to say acrobats, but all these stunts, like jumping over a limb, because if I didn't, I would have tripped. And imagine in hiking boots, of all things, not tennis shoes, and it's a hill, and I think at one point the assistant director was trying to come up, and they said, leave the running to Sai, you can't do it because he tripped over. So, or and that's meant for her. I'm like, yeah, let me get the hits, let me get the injuries. We don't want to lose our assistant director. So everyone had a good laugh about that one. They're like, how did you do that? I'm like, I've been working out and I do run. So I guess it paid off, but I've never done it in hiking boots. So yeah, that was fun too. Like I said, I like to have fun and joke around.
Yeah.
And get to know people, that's what it's about, and what they do, because some people don't just do that. They do more. Like I said, people are multifaceted. Like I just don't do massage therapy, as we can see from this interview. I do more, and I want to do more. Like I want to write as well. I love writing, and which is also involving the hands. Mm-hmm. And I just have to just put the thoughts together, and I just haven't put pen to paper.
Yeah.
I think I'm just putting too many subjects in my head and not focusing on, one by one, like writing an outline, and not to overwhelm myself. I think I get overwhelmed and then I just like forget it, So I do want to write eventually. And I also want to help people, whether it's nonprofit, I don't care, help, as I mentioned, heal in another way, as far as talking about my story, helping women and men who don't have voices of what they've been through, be a voice for them, if I can. And even if it's just one person, it will be satisfaction for me, that at least I helped one person in whichever way.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being you.
You're welcome. I loved it.
Pittsburgh is very lucky to have you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. That's really something. I hope so.
And it was such a good time talking to a friend. And,
absolutely.
We'll, of course, be in touch.
Definitely. And I can also give you my massage, like I said, it's Healing Hands by Sai. It's on Facebook. And business email is healsootherevive, all one word, @gmail.com.
Love it.
That's info. And also, of course, if you go to the Healing Hands by Sai, which is SAI, on Facebook, you can also message me there. My information is there as well.
Okay, dear. Thank you so much. I'll let you
You're
go.
very welcome. Yes.